so much for coming out to Pony here today, right beside the ballpark. My name's Chris Blaine, and I welcome you here. My title is CEO of Sports Facility LLC. And for those of you who have never heard of that, Sports Facility LLC is the parent company of Washington Frontier League Baseball, among some other companies. You know Washington Frontier League Baseball is the Washington Wild Things. This park has enjoyed nearly a quarter of a century of success, due in great part to our partners, our sponsors, our season ticket holders, and the wonderful government officials who have always been there to assist us. And in terms of partners, I want to recognize right now that the Washington County Chamber of Commerce, the Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency, and sponsors like Cohen, and today we have Andy McIlvain and Andrea Newrohr, who are representing Cohen. They're here with us. The Corey firm, the Chapman Corporation, and Pathways. These are all wonderful partners, and there are many more of them than the few that I've mentioned. Thank you to them for being so supportive of our organization. I also want to take a moment, more than a moment, to thank Abe Key and Pony League Baseball for being the best neighbors anybody could ever have. They are always there to help us. We don't have water in the ballpark yet because the pipes could still freeze. They allow us to use their building. That's the kind of neighbors they are, and they are the best. Thank you. We're really pleased that you could all join us today because we are excited to share our good news. This ballpark next door hosts the Washington Wild Things. They're our main tenant. They also host Penn West California Baseball, Washington High School Baseball, McGuffey High School Baseball, and a myriad of other college and high school teams. In addition, we have lots of youth teams that come to the park and play. But we're more than just a ballpark. We are a community asset. Did you all know that in 2006, Taylor Swift performed at that ballpark right there? She opened for Lone Star. We've had other big stars, too, that we're proud to say performed here. We had Bob Dylan, Styx, John Mellencamp, Willie Nelson, and the list goes on and on and on. The facility has just become a great entertainment facility. It's also used for festivals. We're going to have the Taco and Tequila Festival coming up here this summer, which is going to be very exciting. We used to do the Sip Away Tax Day event where we would have music and entertainment on the field and people could taste bourbon, and it was a really kind of neat event. We had the Pride Festival last year. They moved from downtown Washington up here and really enjoyed the facility that we had. It gave them a lot more room to expand. We have driving events up here. We used to have the Antiques Fair, car shows. The list goes on and on and on. During COVID, we actually had college graduations on field, high school graduations, and even church services. This is a community asset. We do charity walks. We do all of those kinds of things. The MOPS Walk, the Great American Heart Walk, the Breast Cancer Home Run Derby, and on and on and on. It's a beautiful, beautiful community asset. And that's exactly what we want it to be. We want it to be used every day that it's not snowing or raining. And that brings me to the purpose of today's conference and what our news is. When we were looking for a naming rights partner, we wanted somebody that would be like-minded as our company is. And EQT's name kept coming up. And it made sense because they too are so very community-minded. They've done wonderful things in this community and in the tri-state area, and we are thrilled to be able to partner with them. Our partnership began a couple of years ago when EQT came on board as the sponsor of our Winter's Day program. And this is a program that's designed for school children, and EQT got involved, and they also made it so it's not only baseball, but also education, and they brought in the STEM program. And so every year now in the spring, we have a whole group of companies that do the STEM program, and the kids go through that before and during the game, and it's a really neat experience. EQT also partners with us on our community suite. This is a program that we offer to nonprofits in the area where we donate one of our luxury suites to them, and they can use it for their employees, for their volunteers, or they can use the tickets and auction them off and make money for the organization. EQT is now going to be the main sponsor of that suite. It will be called the EQT Community Suite. Everything that they touch shows that they are interested in this community, and that's why we think they are the best partners we could ever have. They fit the bill in every single sense. And so at this time, I'm going to tell you that the building next door is now known as EQT Park. And I'm going to invite the president and CEO, Toby Rice, the man with the vision, to come on up and tell us about EQT. Thank you so much.
What an exciting day for us. You know, I think this is a natural partnership for EQT to work with the Washington Wild Things. You know, I've known a lot of you guys that are in this room for a long time. And, you know, what my journey started in Washington County. You know, it was a small business that now has grown, and here we sit with EQT, America's natural gas champion. You know, we currently produce over 1 million barrels a day of energy, but in the form of natural gas. 100% of that is in Appalachia, in Washington County, is a big part of our success. We've always said, as our companies grow, our support for the communities will grow as well. And it should not be a surprise to anybody that we are really excited about supporting the the Washington Wild Things. And there's a natural connection, you know, because in our business, the oil and gas industry, we've got wild cats. And so I think it makes a lot of sense for us to be supporting the Wild Things. You know, this park is pretty amazing. We look at this not only as an opportunity to support the team and Skip here. This is a great opportunity for others to bring and host their events and really live out the values that I think has been really special. You know, in Washington County, where neighbors take care of neighbors is a big thing. So we're happy to help here. And you know, as it relates to our business, you know, there's a lot of things that are in common with you know, the value that we bring to this world as energy producers. At the end of it, it's really we make the world a better place for families. And guess what? This place shares that same mission and does that exact thing. And a key to our success is teamwork. And that's not just being good teamwork with the people that work at EQT, but being a good team member with the members of the community. And we look at all of our stakeholders as part of the team. And I think, you know, this park here is a really great example of great things happen when teamwork's deployed. So we're really excited about partnering here. We look forward to this being the start of many great events and appreciate the opportunity to bring to you all EQT Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Toby. Before I bring up another speaker, there are a couple more people who are going to speak. I do want to tell you that when we conclude in here, there will be opportunity for you to do individual interviews. However, we're going to go out and unveil the sign in front of the ballpark before we do that. So, but at this time, I've been talking, and I talked about sports facility, and we've mentioned the Wild Things and that kind of thing. But the Wild Things is the main tenant, and that's what everybody knows us for, really. And one of the things that you may not know is that the Wild Things are participate in the Frontier League, and the Frontier League is the oldest and the largest independent minor league in the United States, maybe in the world, I don't know. But anyway, and actually now we're one of the oldest teams, which is scary because the park's been here for 24 years. This will be our 23rd season of Wild Things baseball. Because of COVID, we lost a year. But we are thrilled to be a part of this league because it's growing by leaps and bounds. And a lot of that has to do with our commissioner. And so at this time, I would like to ask the commissioner of the Frontier League to please come forward. Steve Tasler made a long trip to come here and be a part of this. So Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. Toby, thank you so much for your partnership with the Wild Things. To everybody here, Washington County, Pennsylvania has been an amazing partner to the Frontier League and is our flagship operation. The biggest announcement, the biggest day in the Frontier League's 30-plus year history was in 2019 when we announced that we were adding 5 clubs from the former Can-Am League in the Northeast and into Canada. We chose to make that announcement in Washington County, Pennsylvania, because of the support and the loyalty and the passion that people have for the Wild Things organization and how well they have supported the Frontier League in the 24 years that the team has been playing here. I'm one of the few people who actually predates the Wild Things. I've been in the Frontier League since 1997, so I remember when it first opened. I remember the excitement, going into a major media market, going into a new facility, adding a team in the eastern part of our league, and how well the Wild Things started and what a tremendous run they went on. And what's exciting is 24 years later, they're continuing that momentum, they're continuing that excitement, both on the field and off the field. The Frontier League owes a lot to the Corey family and to the Williams family for what they've done in putting the ball club here and providing the resources to operate it. And then when as we talk about new markets, and I talk to new ownership groups about what the Frontier League's about, we use Washington as an example. We talk about Christine Blaine, who was here really before the ballpark started. We talk about Tony Basili with over a decade of experience. We talk about Travis Pettit. We talk about Tom Bath in his 5th year as manager. That says a lot, the fact that people are making their careers here in the Frontier League and making their careers here with the Washington Wild Things. As we talk to new markets and as we talk to new people and try to explain what the Frontier League is to new communities, one of the messages we give is we're more than baseball. Yes, baseball is our favorite. Baseball is why I'm here, why we're all here. We're huge baseball fans. But the whole purpose of the facility is being able to expose it to as many different segments of the community as possible. As you look inside your packets, as you look at the screen, the color-coded screen, you can see 6, 7 different colors of different types of events that are held here at the ballpark in Washington County every single year at the facility. We're biased, we're selfish. We want everyone to come to a Frontier League game. We want everyone to come to see the Wild Things. But what's most important is that the community comes to the facility, that's what makes it a true community facility, is that a variety of events and activities are staged each year so that everybody feels welcome. The Wild Things organization has done a tremendous aspect of that, and we really appreciate it. And it's that diversity and it's that wide range of activities and demographics that can come that make it such a positive role, and why we believe that EQT is going to see so much community benefit from this partnership they're having. So we really appreciate you taking that step forward with the club. As I stopped by the Wild Things office on my way in town this morning, and looking at the wall, I see, dating back to the 2002 season, a whole series of plaques and articles about best sporting event, best family-friendly event, community relationships awards, marketing award, organization of the year, general manager, executive of the year awards, all going back to the Washington Wild Things, and that's why we're so excited to be here. The Wild Things, like I said, they're one of our top organizations. We brag about them all the time, rightfully so. They've hosted our primary event, our All-Star Game, 3 different times. 12 times the team's been in the playoffs. 5 times they've hosted championship series games here, including last season. And that success is going to keep going. So, we're in a really good period for the Frontier League right now. The last 3 years have seen record attendance each year. We've added 2 new ball clubs this season, expanding our footprint slightly, but 2 tremendous baseball markets. And the reason we're able to do that and the reason we're able to maintain it is the loyalty and the support of the communities that we're in. We can't take that for granted, and we won't take that for granted, and it's our duty to earn the respect of the community. The Wild Things organization, what they've accomplished over the last 24 years and what they're going to keep accomplishing is a true testament to that. So we welcome everybody here. I'm honored to be able to be part of this announcement today. I appreciate the group from EQT coming up, and thank you so much for your support and your participation, not just in the Frontier League and the Wild Things, but in the entire community.
What you need to know is that Steve and I were both 10 years old when we started our careers. Jeff Catula has been a godsend to our organization. He's the president of the Chamber of Commerce, the Washington County Chamber of Commerce, and Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency. And he's been so helpful with everything over the years. I go run into Jeff anytime I have like an issue or you need to help me do this or that. I run to Chase. So I'm going to ask Jeff to come up and talk a little bit about how we fit into Washington County with tourism and the chamber. And Jeff, I don't know what we would do without you. I really don't. You have been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind compliments, Chris. I certainly appreciate that. Good morning, everyone. When I think of Washington County, I think of two things: economic growth and partnerships. And today's announcements brings both of those together. Tourism in Washington County is a nearly $700 million a year business, employing 6,000 people. And we don't have to tell you about the success we've seen with natural gas. Also a multi-million-dollar business in the Commonwealth, employing thousands of people. And of course, we're promoting America's energy independence right here from Washington County. And it's good to see these two groups getting together, two major drivers of our economy coming together to support EQT Park. But it's a lot more than that, because our second thing is partnerships and working together in Washington County on common goals. You can't go to a volunteer event in this county without seeing someone with an EQT shirt on, spending their time to make our community better. You can also go to the park at any time and see the volunteers and young people out there enjoying the park, made available by their ability and willingness to lend themselves to community events. And that is why we're here today. And on behalf of the County Chamber and Tourism, we want to continue to promote that. How do we bring more people into the county? We're working on that with such things as how do we introduce our county to the NFL draft next year, or celebrating America's 250th birthday. But that's just where it starts. It starts with people like Toby and Chris and Stu Williams getting together and making our community better. And I think that's what's special about Washington County and why we're here today. I'd also like to take a few moments and recognize some of our other partners that sometimes are unheard, but also make equally impactful things in our county. I'd like to recognize Bob Griffin and Carrie Fox from the Redevelopment Authority. They are instrumental in moving our county forward with such projects as the new field here in the county at the stadium, as well as knocking down finally the former Washington Mall. And also to Claire Schrantz from Representative Tim Murphy's office. I'm sorry, Tim O'Neill, wrong guy. But maybe one day Congressman, though, you can pass that along to him. Representative Tim O'Neill's office, who's done wonders for supporting our interests in Harrisburg and making sure those move forward. And finally, Stu Williams, for his family's continued investment within this county. We certainly appreciate that, Stu, for all you do for us. I'd also like to take this moment and recognize our county commissioner, Larry Maggi, for a few words, if you wouldn't mind, and then after her, Bob Sabat from North Franklin Township. Thank you for having me today, and congratulations.
Thanks, Jeff, and the Wild Things, and for the opportunity to be here. You know, someone who's lived here my whole life, I've worked here, I've played here, I've been educated here. This is a very important amenity for Washington County. I was here when it started 20 plus years ago, and I'm proud to say this is a gateway to Washington County. When you're coming down Interstate 70 going eastbound and you see the Wild Things, you're being introduced to Pennsylvania and Washington County. You know, but we're so grateful to the private sector. You know, government, we like to talk about all the things we do. We create jobs. We don't create jobs. You guys create the jobs, and you're making it happen here. You know, we've had presidential candidates here. We've had top entertainers here. We've had high school youth teams here. We've had 501c3s here. This is a community event, and places like this makes Washington County a better place to live, work, and play. And we thank you guys for being a part of it, for making it happen, and for being the impetus of what's going on in Washington County. Thank you, and wish you a lot of luck in this year's endeavors, and can't wait to see Wild Things opening day.
I would just like to add a few things. As the chairman of the Board of Supervisors in North Franklin, my job is kind of one that a lot of you don't see happen, but I work a lot behind the scenes with Chris and Stu, and the township has been a major part of what's been going on up here. And You know, we have a lot of things going on in North Franklin right now between opening a new municipal building and a pavilion that we're doing right now. And we had the governor here last week, and we capped the 300th well in Washington County, which was a real positive thing. And the governor's promised to come back to throw out a first pitch, so we're working on that, and he's promised me fish for my lake. And so it's one thing after another, but the wild things, Larry and I might be the only two elected officials that were here back in the late 90s when all this started. And I came up here and there was nothing but hay and straw, and they said they wanted to build a ballpark. And I said, okay, well, let's build a ballpark. So here we are. That's kind of how it happened. And I've been very lucky to have a board of supervisors the entire time that has been very, very supportive of what we do here. And I know Chris and Stu talked to me a little bit before this about some other things that we're going to be doing this summer. And those are the nuts and bolts that go on all the time, because besides us being North Franklin and the wild things, we have a mall that we're trying to get. And if anybody wants to buy a mall, I have one for sale that I've been trying to get rid of. But in all seriousness, this is a residential community as well of 5,000 people. And so the township supervisors are always trying to balance what is best for the business end of this township, and also make sure our residents are taken care of as well. So we work very closely with Chris, Stu, and we're very proud that EQT has come in here, and the wild things are on my mind all the time. I tell the supervisors, we got to keep doing what we're doing, help them along, and make sure that we continue this partnership. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry and Bob and Jeff. So we're done with this portion of the press conference, but there are a couple of things. We're going to go out and unveil the sign in the front. If you all don't want to go out while we do that, there are a lot of goodies over there, including pepperoni rolls from Cohen, and you're going to be able to get those at the ballpark this summer. But you can have a taste test today, along with some donuts and pastries from Crency's and some coffee and water. So please help yourselves to that. People will be available for interviews following the unveiling of the statue. I don't know how long Toby can be here, but if you need an interview with him, you see one of his people and they'll do their best to get you lined up. And if you need anybody else, let us know. We'll get you back in here for an interview or outside or whatever. Once again, thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much, EQT, and Toby, your whole crew. They have been fabulous. Thank you. Proud to call EQT Park.